Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. I'm back once again with Dr. Eric Goldman, noted author and film educator, and an expert on films about Jewish life. And that's our focus each Tuesday night during the month of September. Welcome back, Eric.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here.
Good to have you here. Well, earlier we started our series with the 1927 film, The Jazz Singer. And now we're going to take a look at a remake of that film, which came out in 1952, long after sound films had become the norm. This version also with the addition of Technicolor and starring Danny Thomas as the son of a Jewish cantor, the son also a Broadway star named Jerry Golding. So changes right off the bat, the name. And what are some of the other differences between that earlier version and this one?
It's the 1950s. The Jew has already reached a certain point in American society where they're totally comfortable. It's no longer the story of the immigrant father and the young American-born son.
But effectively done.
Effectively done, and really gives us a strong sense of what America was like in the 1950s. It was a time when Judaism was accepted as one of America's three major religions. And that's key here because they're walking around the synagogue. It could be a church. It could be anything. They're well dressed. The rabbi is addressed as doctor. These are educated people. These are people who found themselves a place in America. Jews in America are now in the suburbs, and they're struggling and looking for a way of connecting with each other. When they lived in the immigrant communities, they were on top of each other. Now they're spread apart, and what do? Like all Americans in the 1950s, they went to church. They went to the synagogue. And that opening scene of the Jewish star, and suddenly you see Temple Sinai, established 1790. The filmmakers wanted us to understand that Jews have been around since the time of George Washington and before. And this is a long history. And we've now achieved a certain place in America with synagogues that are just as gorgeous as the church down the street. That's very special and very important for our understanding of this movie.
Interesting stuff. Was it done because Danny Thomas was under contract to Warner Brothers and were looking for vehicles for him? Or was it done because they had The Jazz Singer and they wanted to remake it and, we can put Danny Thomas in it?
I think it was both. At one point, Danny Thomas was being considered to do the Jolson story. And he was part of that mix. He looked Jewish, he looked Semitic, he certainly is Semitic. I think that's part of it. The other thing is that when Jolson became more and more popular in the late 40s, and we remember that he was forgotten largely in the late 30s, there was this interest of, maybe we should tackle this story and contemporize it.
Yeah, because the Jolson story, which was such a hit in 1946, is basically the Jazz Singer story again.
Absolutely.
And of course, very much so.
And the remake, which was rare at that time.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look at the movie here from Warner Brothers in 1952, nominated at the time for an Academy Award in the category of Best Scoring of a Musical. Here's Danny Thomas as the Jazz Singer.